Up against Gigant, I think we keep this. Obviously need to draw a land. Yeah, Modern is wild, huh? Puts on a mold of 6. I think that in deck building there's more heuristics for like when not to do something than when to do something. I don't know if that makes sense. I have to take the Vengeance because they have 2 discard outlets. Okay. Interesting hand. I need to draw the 3rd land. Castable spell, kill Asmo at least. They did draw their 2nd land. So now I imagine they'll Collective Brutality me. Discarding Atraxa. You know, they can discard Atraxa at any time. But I guess if they do it now, they get the loot. They'll take the Kolaghan's command probably, so I can't kill their cookbook. We need to fade Agorio's Vengeance for a while. And as Daredevil attracts a mystery card, do we find our 3rd land? We do find our 3rd land. Pretty sure this is an easy Fable here. Well, I mean, they are a Saga deck, so if, you know, if they play Saga, we'll play Blood Moon. Otherwise, it's not a big priority. They see the Pioneer Neoform Attraction list. Yeah, those decks are awesome with Soul Flayer too. Like I think Todd had like kind of the first draft of like Delve Neoform into Atraxa, and then like Soul Flayer is just so genius in that deck. It's awesome. Do you think they could fit somewhere modern? Well, we've already played Neoform Atraxa. I don't know if you could also play Soul Flayer. The problem is like in modern, there's just like so much more played and prevalent disruption that it's harder to be in on a deck like that. Not that you can't play it, but I just don't think it's great. It's a good pickup for them. Oh, those Atraxa's still in their hand. Weird. Dude, Collective Brutality is also bugged. It says the wrong modes on the card. At least it was last night. At least it was last night. See the blue-black snow control deck? Are you the one that emailed me? I didn't look at the list. Every once in a while I get an email from someone like, Spike, will you take a look at my deck list? Like I 5-0'd and take a look. I usually do look. I didn't look this time. It's gonna... I get a lot of emails and DMs like that. Which is really nice. I really like seeing those emails instead of, "Hey, hello, Spike. Would you like to invest in our crypto scam?" Actually, those have kind of like died down. Like but now it's all mobile game stuff. Oh, they discarded Profane Tutor. It's interesting. I guess it's fine to discard that. Do you have updated Phoenix list? No, I was playing my out-of-date Phoenix lists off stream this week. And I was like winning some crazy games, and I was also like just never finding any Phoenixes or Demi-Liches. Very classic. This looks like Brutality. Very classic Phoenix gameplay. What's the reason you're not bolting Space for Spyro? Well, you lose the treasure token if you bolt the face. You lose. It's like you get treasure elemental versus 3 life, which I think I'd rather have treasure plus elemental. Okay, so they duress and then -2. They discard the Atraxa. No decisions here. Dude, I've had so many Raid Shadow Legends emails. It's they offer like more than like almost any sponsorship. But I just have shit talked them way too much to take their money. Did I decide deck on 100 Burden? I mean, like, yeah, I decided. Does that mean I'm gonna play the deck I chose to play? Stop asking me so many questions. Get off my back. Hey, calm down. I got time. Curious how much they offer. I mean, it's just like I've been getting emails from them for years, and it just scales up based on number of viewers. I can't remember what the last number is, but it's like it's a lot of money for not that much work. But also like the pain of having to stream Raid Shadow Legends has got to be excruciating. It's got to like stream. The stream is my baby. It's my like. It's my art, you know. It's my canvas, and like when you take a shit on your canvas, that's gotta feel bad. I could bring in Necromentia. I just thought also I have so much hate for their combo though. Could play one Blood Moon for their sagas. Like, at least with, like, you know, with every plate, like, this is, like, a freaking sick deal. And I get to do a cute cooking stream with my beautiful partner, Esther. And it's just, like, it's just fun and nice. And they pay me. It's sick. You know, NordVPN is also, like, just, like, a great tool. I like NordVPN. I've been really happy to use them. They're really good to work with. I think Raid Shadow Legends is not a good product, you know. Yeah, definitely blessed to be in a position to decline, for sure. I obviously don't think any less of anybody who does take those sponsorships. We're all just trying to make it, huh? We're all just trying to make it. It'd be so funny if I did raid sponsor streams now. Well, the thing is, like, I know, but I've had this exact same dialogue tree so many times. So many times. Have you ever played Raid? I haven't ever played Raid, but I have downloaded it using codes for, like, Yama Killer and Doomwake whenever they do Raid streams. Like to get them more money, I'll do the download thing. But I haven't, like, you know, played it. I did those 2 times. Trip Spellbomb. I guess we keep him. But when Raid Shadow Legends emails me and they offer me less money than they had in the past, I'm always so insulted when it's like a few $100s less. I'm like, y'all don't want me anymore? Ah! Dude, this is like the best ley line I've ever seen. What the hell? I guess I can still cycle these. Nihil Spellbomb. Myself. Suspends Profane Tutor. Wow, that's a card, huh? That is a card. With this... Yeah, that's one argument for Relic, but we have, like, you know, 3 Devil Spells, 2 Murderous Cuts, and a Cling, so... I think that's why I like the Spell Bombs. No, you don't want to switch to Lanterns, I think, since Lantern is just, like, so much worse against Murktide and Scam, and, like, being able to, like, cut the Blood Moons from Murktides and Scam is a huge deal. So 2 cards in their hand. If their cards are either Atraxa or Gorios, they're going to Gorios this turn. So I need to plan for that. Do the classic F6 to make it look like I have nothing. And then we'll hover over the auto yield so I can respond to the discard cookbook. They're not immediately doing it though. They did resolve that Profane Tutor really quickly though, so they should. I think they have the combo. Okay, no, they're not doing it. Okay, never mind. They don't have it. Or, you know, they do it instant speed. I mean, them doing an instant speed would be playing around like the one of Cling to Dust really randomly, which is something they can do. But they would only do if they're ghosting, you know. Oh, but they want to do end of turn. They want to do end of turn Gorios, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they maybe also just don't have it. But like, yeah, I'm not sure what they tutored for. Is there a reason you run Spellbomb over Relic and Sideboard? Yeah, I have 2 Murderous Cuts and a Cling to Dust, both cards that are really important against Murktide and Scam, and part of my sideboard plan is cutting the Blood Moons for Spellbombs against Murktide and Scam. Also Kolaghan's Command. With the new white man, I'm excited for it. I don't think it'll be a big impact to Modern, but there's a few decks I think it's interesting in, and I've been very excited to talk about it for like a year and a half. But I guess I don't have that much to say. I've just been excited. Any Shire brews yet? I never start brewing with cards, even when I see them a year and a half in advance. Or I start brewing with them, you know, when we can actually, or like, you know, a few weeks ahead of time. I have a regular stream to take care of, you know. Not in a rush. I've had a brew start already. The thing is, I have plenty of time to brew for the new cards, right? I have a whole I have Marching Machines coming out soon. I just need to work on cards as they come out. I can't waste time working on cards I can't play with for 3 months. Great draw. The Lord of the Rings says just Modern Legacy. Yeah, in Commander legal. And Oathbreaker legal. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like I have just like a huge outlet for brewing. Exactly. Yeah, Box Stoppers are not legal, so no Wasteland. Dude, I used to play Oathbreaker. Or I played one night of Oathbreaker with my friends. my Planeswalker was Tezzeret. My signature spell was Mana Severance. So I could Goblin Charbelcher people. Them shuffling on the Attracts is a really big game here too. Cling to Dust. That's gotta feel really bad. You would think my opponent with 1 mana up here, I imagine, thought that they were pretty safe. Yeah, I guess I probably could have spiraled instead, but let's keep the... No, channel's the only way I can have Cling up, so... I think we're only losing to their 2 cards being, like, Attract Sigorios next turn. Oh, they're also just dead now. Okay, well, they were just dead even with the channel. They were surviving. All 3 swamps, huh? Right, I know it's a weird flex, but I've been just thinking about it every single day. I'm undefeated in Tiny Leaders. Every day I have to wake up knowing I've never lost a match of Tiny Leaders. Do you know what that responsibility is like? They real Winslow teeth. I've never seen a Ragavan more dead to red in 6. What is Tiny Leaders? Okay, it's a 40 card format like Commander, but everything has to have a mana value 3 or less. X spells are allowed. There's also a ban list. And so I played a Zeus, a Lost But Seeking, and I would like Crucible Wasteland people, Lone Wasteland people, set up for Thespian Stage, Dark Depths combo. I would also like I could never die because I played Constant Mists, and then there's a land. There's a land that I played Glacial Chasm too, and like Glacial Chasm kind of soloed the whole Tiny Leaders metagame. 49, yeah, I got you. Yeah, 49 plus your commander. Yeah, you're right. Is Lurrus legal? Yeah, I don't know. This was like long before Lurrus was legal. I don't know what Tiny Leaders would look like right now. Yeah, it's a 1v1 format, yeah, which is something I liked about it also. Can you go Thoughtseize plus Murderous Cut this turn? I think I should play the Fable instead. Yeah, Leveler is so good. I'm putting my Anviltron deck together tonight, but I'm loaning it to my friend for the Hunter Burton. I'll have it sleeved up for the first time. Yep. Is Lurrus legal as a companion? I guess I would assume so. We're going to be conceding in a second, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to mental health concede here. Boarding in a 3-drop. Command is pretty bad against them. Oath of Nissa is interesting tech, yeah. I always think one thing I think is so funny, and like I see like a lot of people still playing 80 card 4-color Omnath lists, and they all have like 4 Oath of Nissas in them. It's like I don't know. It's kind of funny conversation because like in theory they add consistency, low card quality. I don't know. It's interesting. You really like Path of Peril Cyber Piece? Yeah, the card is incredible. You know what? I can't believe we have this still have this conversation. But like people are still like, Spike, why are you playing Path of Peril over Hidden Sugu consumes all? All the Rakdos players just want to play Hidden Sugu because it's so cool. I know Hidden Sugu is so cool, but you're a Rakdos player. You have to have answers for Sanctifier. You have to be able to beat Sanctifier. Please, Rakdos players. Please play Path of Peril. I'm begging you, so I have to play against Sanctifier less. Just play both. You can play a split, but it's just like, man, when you're playing a split and you have the Hidden Sugu in your hand and they're have Sanctifier in play, you're like, damn it. And Path is still like good against. It's also like really good against Yawgmoth. Like killing Wall of Roots has been like really nice. Can we play Ob again? I've never liked Ob. You can do whatever you want, I guess. Yeah, Return is fine too. Ooh. Well, I guess I should just Blood Moon them. What is Jun Saga run IOK? IOK is a good modern card. I don't know what numbers of IOK they play, but I do think in general you should have the 4 Thoughtseize before the first Inquisition in any deck. But here, I have 3 Inquisitions in this deck. Just like, you know, these... Like, when you're not playing Grief in your mid-range modern red decks, you should have some number of IOKs, I think. The full 4? Yeah, I think that the full 4 is like a boomer mentality, but, you know, it's okay. This is kind of, you know, this is the thing, too, about this deck and about mid-range decks in general. Everybody just has slightly different opinions. There's really like no standardization of deck lists. Come on, Oath of Nissa. Do I have my tiny list series posted somewhere? No, this was like 7 years ago or something. 6 or 7 years ago. I think it's in my like old tapped out account somewhere, but you know, this predates me being Aspiring Spike. Yeah, I was trying to look at the Oathbringer ban list today. It's not on the Wizards website, though. Surely it has a ban list, though. I remember, like, we had, like, no Power 9 or something. I can't remember. 2 pretty lopsided games. Thank you, Blood Moon. Harder to steal a game with Blood Moon on the draw. We're going to try. Was my Azusa deck more than 50 lands? I can't remember. I played Realms Uncharted. I remember that. Realms Uncharted was awesome. Oh, man, I got to play Realms Uncharted. It was so sick. And I played some Hydras. Too, because, like, they could be, like, a mana sink. I played Mox... Oh, I had a Mox Diamond. Oh, I bought that Mox Diamond for so cheap, too. And then I sold it for, like, more than it was worth, but now it's, like... I think it's probably, like, 4 times that I sold it for. Oh, sorry, I sold it for more than I bought it for, so it's hard for me to be upset, but again, it's probably like 4 times what I sold it for. Burns, which Prime, thank you. Don't Veil of Summer me. That's illegal. This is a Veil of Summer free zone. But I'm not getting the memo. I think you have to lead on Thoughtseize because of Ren and 6. Okay. Gonna be harder for Blood Moon to steal this game, but we don't have Blood Moon in this hand. I remember Strip Mine was banned, but I was bummed. Although I played Ghost Quarter and just Ghost Quarter people's basics away too. Oh boy, they have Bolt. I would say my opponent's draw is lined up well against mine. Don't want to just Inquisition here. Like they didn't play Risen Reef or Teferi, so like I don't think they have either of those cards. Getting on Naft. Have some good draws here. Hand's actually not too scary. It's like the Solitude. Terminate the Omnath. Thankfully, there's just like, remember when Yorion was around and like the game would just be over if Yorion was still legal here. Okay, so it has Fountain, Fury, Binding, Mystery card. I don't think I'm just firing off this Inquisition. Well, yeah, no, we're just gonna pass back. White Cut over Terminate? I'll give you one guess, huh? One guess. I was going to play Flooded Strand instead of Fountain, so still know most of their cards. Alright, Fury, Fable, Seasoned Pyromancer. Ooh, Blood Moon. Cuts me off of black. It doesn't really do anything to stop their mana. They might Binding it. They probably Binding it. It's not like my black cards are doing anything at the moment. Here's a Fountain, Fury, then 2 mystery cards after their draw step. Still desperate to draw a Fable or a Spyro. Happy to have 4 of each. Happy to draw this. Obviously this gives them like good Fury target, but just the filtering is so important. Getting like these out of the deck, out of the hand. I'm not going to Bolt end of turn, because I want to be able to draw land for Fury, hardcast Fury. And it's still Fountain, 2 mystery cards. Thoughtseize, and Thoughtseize. Thankfully they got so flooded. So somehow in this game. Somehow in this game. Well, if I finally draw my 5th land, it's kind of wild we haven't drawn like too many lands this game. I think do we had 3 in our opener, right? Okay, there we go. So their hand is Fountain Pending Mystery card, right? Surprise to see post board while bringing in 4th Blood Moon. I mean, I don't know. 1-mana spells against Reef and Omnath are kind of a good way to swing things back in your favor. I don't know, but also like do what Kolaghan's command instead, maybe. Don't have like, you know, too many bangers. I think Kolaghan's command is pretty bad in this matchup. Is it good for the format that the elementals are so ubiquitous in the meta? I typically think this question, is it good for the format that the elementals are so ubiquitous in the meta? Every single time I hear it, all I can think is that like you think the answer is no. I think people only ever phrase this question when they think that, like, they point to this evidence. These elementals are so ubiquitous. This is like their evidence for the answer being no, you know? And I personally, like, you could point to like any modern staple and say the exact same thing about it. And most modern staples have like a group of haters for them, just like the elementals do. Just like the elementals do. Well, yeah. I guess shocking here to let me push the Reef right now. Yeah, you know, and so it's just not a very interesting conversation to me either. We've talked the incarnations to death. I've heard every opinion you could possibly have ever heard about the incarnations. I just don't think it's that interesting either. Find an Omnath. If they kill my Fury, we get to push the Omnath, and they're going to have to kill my Fury or die. I guess they're not going to die because they could gain life me. They still haven't played that Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, I think the modern format would be a worse place without the elementals. I think Yawgmoth and Hammer specifically would be incredibly dominant. Would you have to have bannings? It's just like it's just a whole thing. And like I understand that Fury is good against your pet deck. I understand. I know it is. But you know there are answers to Fury. You can play around it sometimes. You can lose to it sometimes too. You're gonna go to 1? I think my opponent will ping themselves. Oh, they even pinged themselves? Alright. Okay, up against Kahira. Sorry for all the cup clicking. Which brew surprised me the most? I don't even know how to answer questions like this anymore. I have built hundreds and hundreds of decks and started streaming. It's like it's hard for like one to stand out above the other. My Thoughtseize player on Ren. You know what I mean? I just have built. Come on! I defeated the evil already. I defeated the evil that is Omnath. It's not fair for me to play against it a second time in a row. Without Blood Moon in my hand too. I think I cast the Ragavan. I can't hit anything good off the dash. I want mana. I don't want to take mana. I'm like pretty happy if they pitch Solitude or Fury here. Sure, that's fine. What's the worst deck? Well, a lot of times, like, I've played a few decks on stream that I know are really bad, and I'm playing them to feel alive for the first time. Such as, I think a good example would be the Paradoxical Outcome, the Temur Paradoxical Outcome deck with the Temur Enchantment. Cast a spell, draw 2 cards. That was a good example. The Braid of Fire deck was definitely a feel something deck. So probably gonna evoke the Fury here, right? So it's Omnath, Solitude, a new card. Edgar Charm Groom, yeah. I 5-0 that one, I don't know. Somehow. It's an interesting spot. They don't have the 4th land yet. So they're not definitely going to play Omnath this next turn. If they Solitude my Goblin Shaman, it's not the end of the world. I think just bolting this turn is too slow. But yeah, I don't know. I've built hundreds and hundreds of decks on stream at this point, and I'm just interested in doing the new thing, you know. I'm not very interested in dwelling in the past. Solitude, pitch Solitude. It is Omnath, 2 spells. Tap land is really rough. I'm gonna keep the Fury for Omnath. Drew the Lamb. It's weird that we could still just outgrind them. This matchup feels so much better than it did back when Yorion and Luris were legal. Nat, I think we Twitch Prime doing well. Now it's Kihira and Obosh. Well, I think my last round opponent didn't have Kihira. I think they had, must have had Elishnorn instead. So, Fury Omnath lets me attack, which is really nice. They could really easily have a second Omnath in their hand. I think it's like very easy for them to have second Omnath. Oh, attack first. Oh yeah, attacking first was definitely the line. Dang, why couldn't I see that? Don't we know they have 2 Omnath? They pitched one of the Omnaths already. We don't know any card in their hand. We just know that 3 of them are spells at least. Yeah, I should have attacked all there first. I don't know why I missed that. I did miss it though. Okay, now I'm just gonna cast Blood Moon. Good luck, nerd. Might have, they might have a binding. Let's go. Let's go. Did I Murderous Cut the Solitude? Probably. Could also just wait and like try to copy. Let's Murderous Cut. Crazy. We just beat the Omnath deck too. Crazy that we're just like playing the long game against the Risen Reef Omnath deck and winning. You know, this has also been my... My post says, those were indeed 2 turns. Yeah. You know, I've also been playing some Omnath decks, and this has also been my experience playing the Omnath decks. I am, like... Well, just, like, losing the long game a lot of the time. How's this matchup? I feel like it's hard for me to say that it's good, but... I guess I'm saying that. We just beat it last round. We played a game where we were stumbling for a long time and beat them anyways, and I don't know, it doesn't feel that bad. Our companion's good, their companion's bad. It's weird, I don't know. Our blood moons are really good against them. We have a lot of grinding potential. You know? Yeah, the idea behind this build is, of course, the late game. It's all about that late game. Give me Ultron 1 push like I didn't last time. Play 1 command this time. Yeah, we beat them without Blood Moon in like game 3 or 2, right? I'm misremembering. No, Cling is a good card. I basically never cut the Cling. It's like fine against Ren and 6, but you just like never cut it. It's just like a card draw spell. Do you feel like missing 2 drops is a really bad thing? Obviously I don't feel like it's... No, I don't know. Listen, Modern, this is something about Modern. Modern is a format that breaks basically all deck building conventions. I think even Legacy has more deck building conventions than Modern does. You can get really, really weird in this format and still have a good, like an optimal list for your idea. Like Standard and Pioneer have like really, really traditional deck building conventions of like mana curve and number of lands. But in Modern, just so many things throw those ideas out the window. The presence of like companions and Urza Saga targets and expressive iteration being a 3-drop instead of a 2-drop. Just like the pressure of like Spellpierce Counterspell lowering your overall mana curve. Your Evoke Incarnations are also like make your mana curve decisions really interesting. There's just no rules, which is why I'm able to do what I do, because I'm not a Frank Karsten. I'm not a math guy, I'm an artist, you know? Yeah, Ren and 6 also messes with your curve. Why play Spellbomb over Void Walker's Graveyard Hate? Because of Obosh. yeah, also no Crooks, Obosh. Is Karuga Lotus Field something I already visited there a few weeks for people hyping Karuga? I played 1 league with like the good list. I 4-1'd. Never to be played again. I don't know. We'll see. Quad bolts. Let's go, dude. They're at 8 life. 1 mulligan. But also, you know what the best 2-drop in Modern is? While we're on this 2-drop conversation, the best 2-drop in Modern is 2 1-drops. Yeah, Dash Ragavan's a fine answer too. Why didn't you keep the 4-bolt hand? It's not. It would have lost the game, I think, is the reason I didn't keep. Come on, you didn't want to fetch a Triumph end of turn there. I still recommend the sack deck without Ragavans. It's playable without Ragavans. Ragavan is a really important card in that deck. It's a really good card in that deck. You can play Voldaren Epicur in that spot if you want to. There's another card you can play. Can't remember. No, I don't like Supplier very much. You only have the Blood Gases cards that are good to mill over. It's probably just Neonate. Do you think Affinity does better? Or not Neonate, Epicur. Affinity does better or no change with Urza in the deck? I can't really see if I tell. It's tough, because yeah, I played... So most of the like Affinity I've played has been like the more like slower mid-range versions with Urza. I've played a lot of those versions, and I haven't played that much like more traditional like cranial plating affinity. I played some, but not as much as like working on the more slow versions. And I always thought the slower Urza versions were fine, and underexplored, I guess. Do you think the first chapter of Fable should give it a treasure rather than a tutu? I mean, it would probably be like unplayable if it was just a treasure. I don't know. I think Fable in the context of Modern is a really good card. I think it's a, you know, it's hard for a 3-drop to become a staple in Modern, and like Fable I think is actually a really balanced card in the context of Modern, maybe a little pushed in Pioneer Standard. That's how it is for a lot of card draw spells. Like even like it's kind of funny in Legacy, I think that Expressive Iteration is like a little pushed. And I think, you know, obviously a ban, like, you know, bannable, questionable if it should have been banned, blah blah blah, whatever. Just go for Hardcast Fury post combat. But I think Iteration is kind of like perfect for Modern. It's one of the best cards in the format, but I think it's a good card to define the format, or, you know, want it to be one of the best cards. I'd say the top 5 cards are what? Ragavan Saga, Rin, Iteration, and then you can make a good argument for like a few other cards. I think those are the big 4. Do you get to gain 3 life? What the heck? Breach? I don't know. You can make a good argument for a lot of cards. Like you could make for Breach, Violent Outburst. You could make an argument for. Feels like those are like those 4 like the S tier, and then there's like a lot of A tier cards. Yeah, I think if you said Fable's just not on the same level as those other cards. Fable is a archetype role player. It is a card that, like, you know, I think it has more decisions than like Rin, like these other cards which are just so much more ubiquitous. Like in this deck, Fable is only really playable because we also have the full playset of Seasoned Pyromancers. Like it's not as good as Seasoned Pyromancer in this deck, and it's good because you have the playset of Seasoned Pyromancers, in my opinion. You gonna veil me? Besage you. Oh no. Okay. Really wanted to copy this Spyro. What is Jund Saga? Jund Saga is really good. It just won the Showcase Challenge. It's been playable this whole time. People just play Scam instead. Again, that's the thing about Modern, is like a lot of decks are playable, but people just play Scam and Murktide instead. And there's competitive reasons to play these decks. All right, we're gonna get 2 for 1 to buy the Solitude, but I think that's gonna have to be okay because we drew the second Ragavan. Wet Teferi over Ren. Mostly because Teferi's a better top deck here, right? I guess it's a, you know, I don't know. If they pick up the Besage the Needle, I don't really care. If they had a Triumph in the yard, maybe we would need Rin instead. Okay. Qualifier last weekend, played 2 Belcher players that both said this matchup is easy for them. People always like to overstate the quality of their matchups. I think it's an interesting conversation. Like Leyline of Sanctity kind of souls you as the Scam player. Game 1 can be tough. Typically Belcher is really good against discard spells. Scamming Grief on turn 1 usually puts you favored. But yeah, I don't know. This to me, I think this is kind of just classic Modern player exaggerates the quality of their matchup. I'll trade for you here if they attack with it. I wasn't playing or following around Modern due to break. Why was Oko so egregious? Well, just to pull back from Modern a little bit, Oko banned in Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy. Just because it is, like, the best quality 3-drop ever printed. Kind of very simply put. When I cast the Ragavan, so I can loot it to Fable. And draw 2 lands. I don't think I'm very into the idea of the Magus in the sideboard, or at least I don't think it'd be better than some of the other decisions we have. I think the One Ring will be modern playable. I think it's like going to be an incredible card in the 8-key deck. Like untapping it and drawing like 6 cards a turn, while also giving yourself protection is really ridiculous. Well, if we were gonna draw a land, huh? If we were gonna draw a land. Well, immediately turning off the land. I'm gonna think we have to play the Blood Moon. We turn off like Hardcast Solitude. They're at 29. I'm at 9 though, so I kind of have to pump the brakes. They also like may like Sage of the Blood Moon or something. I don't know. They did Sam dirty by printing him at a common. I think the Sam's really good, but I can't say anything else. They said there's gonna be more than one Sam. Yeah, they didn't. Okay, yeah, they announced there's gonna be more than one Sam. Okay, yes, there's gonna be more than one. Okay, I just wasn't sure if I could say that or not. But also, you know, one thing to remember is just because the color of this symbol on the card doesn't actually change the text box at all. Okay, pending on the Fable instead of the Blood Moon, which I think is probably correct. Got a lot of good draws here. That's not one of them, but I'll cast it. So they played the Misty, the Breeding Pool, but wait, that's not the card we knew about. So they're still just a land, and well, let's cast the Fury, I guess. Let's cast this Fury. Fury plus Omnath can make short work of an opponent's life total. This is 18 damage a turn. Boom, 15 months. Thank you. Does Obosh double itself? It does double itself, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't double the spirit tokens, though. Okay, opponent composing a nice GG's message to me. GG's to you, too. Alright, so we are 7-1 on the day, losing only to Teamer, Search for Iskanta, Blood Moon, Tamio, the Collector, taking turns. Fires of Invention taking turns. I also 4-1 last night, losing to Jun Saga. I lost the die roll, but my opponent chose to be on the draw. And then they Gemstone Caverns me. Well, if you're gonna Gemstones Caverns, I guess choose to be on the draw is a good, good choice, huh? Damn it, wow. They chose? They're interesting. They're Dredge. Okay, I have 4 Nihil Spellbombs. Does Dredge choose to be on the draw? Obviously, this Dredge player does. Is that standard, though? Dredge is like another example of like a really ridiculous deck that like... I guess it doesn't see that, you know, as much play as it could because of like the Dothy Voidwalkers in the metagame, but also because like people don't want to play it. Doesn't Cavern virtually put you into play? I feel like it doesn't do anything. It's like a little bit more complicated than that. Creeping Chill. Deck for Jean. This is definitely a matchup that suffers not playing the Voidwalkers, obviously. Oh boy. Okay, so typically, you know, you probably don't need to hear me say this. You probably understand that you are not really incentivized to play Tyvar with 4 mana creatures like Elvish Piper. You know, 2 mana. You could play 2 mana infinite combos with Tyvar, or Tyvar with 2 mana creatures for infinite combo, like Conspicuous Snoot or Devoted Druid. But activating Elvish Piper does sound like some good fun. Okay, you should definitely have a Vizier, right, as a tutor target for Fauna Shaman with your Devoted Druids. At least one. I know you can't Summoner's Pact for it, but come on. Give it some respect. I can, like, never win, right? I can, like, never win this game. Can I just concede? I'll play it out. I don't know why you have 2 Progenituses and 3 Imricles. One of those is going to be better than the other. I'd probably play the 4th Imricle, just 1 Progenitus, and you can Summoner's Pact for it. Yeah, I would just move the Haywire Might to the sideboard and move a Vizier to the main deck and play 1 Temple Garden over Forest 3. The rest of the list seems like, you know, generally pretty fine. Yeah, losses to Judge don't count, thankfully. Necromentia's, I think, good enough to play. It's not great, though. Why is it clean? Yeah, it seems like a fine draft for, like, a very fun deck. Vines, I don't think is the best. Okay, so Vines plus Devoted Druid gives you extra 2 mana. It's not that relevant, right? It's not that relevant. I feel like I'd probably be on like Snakeskin Veil instead if you want this kind of protection spell. Could definitely see playing Leyline of Sanctity in your sideboard also. Could also see playing Thoughtseize over Push in the main, Push in the side. Summoning Trap is cool. You can just play 4 Summoning Trap, no Veil of Summer. Or like 4 Summoning Trap, 4 Leyline of the Void. So Summoning Trap against counter spells, Leyline against discard spells. A few different directions to go. But overall, like I will say, like, you know, suboptimal but like very fun and like a good draft of what is a fun deck. Okay, we're on the play against Dredge. We have Ragavan, Nihil Spellbomb, 1 land. I'm gonna keep on the play. If my opponent plays Gemstone Caverns, I'll Spellbomb. If they put a Leyline of Sanctity into play, I'll just concede. Is there the reason people stop playing the Heliod combo? Well, the reason people don't play Heliod combo is they just play the exact list from like pre-MH2, and that version's not very good. But I was playing this mono white list for a while that I had like a really high win rate with, and like I don't think anybody picked it up, but I was winning a lot with it. There's a few different directions you could go with it too. You could also implement the Shining Shoal tech into it if you wanted to. Has a lot of potential, I think. Alright, let's get a 4-1 prediction going. With the graveyard. It exiles any number of like cards they have in the graveyard too, so it's like it's a really inefficient graveyard hate spell, but it is a graveyard hate spell, so you board it in against Dredge. Yeah, I know we weren't 0% there, but boy, did I not want to play that game. Okay, up against Burn. Just take the more mana efficient card. Yeah, it's really contextual what you name with Necromentia. Which graveyard hate spell should I play in Proud sideboard? Or kind of Torment Crypt with like something like a surgical. I currently don't recommend playing dedicated graveyard hate spells in sideboards. Also, this is something that happens all the time. People in chat come and say, "What graveyard hate spell should I play?" rather than like, should I be playing graveyard hate? But in the context of prowess specifically, one of the main matchups in Modern that you like are interested in graveyard hate for is Living End, and it's a big problem to play like Leyline of the Void or Tormod's Crypt in your prowess sideboard against Living End because their Living Ends are still wraths against you, and when you have graveyard hate plus pressure, they wrath you and you just can't rebuild, and they usually just are able to beat you. So like when you're playing a deck like prowess that like does not want to bring in graveyard hate, against Living End, or like you want to be on a different plan against Living End, like the only thing that you're like really like even thinking about is graveyard hate against okay, I have to think about fetch shocking for Ragavan here. Is graveyard hate for like Dredge and stuff, and Dredge is like not very popular, but prowess is also a deck that can just beat Dredge without any graveyard hate. Sprite Dragon specifically, but like your just prowess plan is enough to beat Dredge by itself a good chunk of the time. And I think with that dynamic, you're just like not really you're not really interested in like playing graveyard hate. So I recommend counter spells instead. And I do typically recommend Leyline of the Void as your prowess graveyard hate spell if you do want to play it, because like nobody ever plays around it. And like if you want a graveyard hate, it needs to be super efficient. Will I be switching to Lantern of a Spellbomb since... No, I won't be. Like I know Leyline's really good against me, but the problem is you have no sideboard plan against Murktide and Scam if you make that change, which is too big of a problem. Any reason not to dash there? Yeah, people dash Ragavan too often. This is a spot where I have a 3-mana spell in my hand, and I'm wanting to like play this Fable, loot away my other Ragavan and my Thoughtseize. I'm just like, okay, missing the point of 2 points of damage to have a Ragavan in play for the rest of the game that I don't have to spend 2 mana on. A card that's going to give me mana every turn instead of taking mana from me at the cost of missing 2 damage and getting a treasure this turn. I agree that's a spot where like a huge chunk of Modern players would have dashed Ragavan. But I really don't think it was correct to. Helix. Okay, am I ever casting Fable here? Or sorry, casting Inquisition. I kind of like leaving... I don't think that they have a spell in their hand. It doesn't really make any sense for them to have a spell that like we could actually take. And then leaving push up for like a Goblin Guide is relevant. Like any spell we could take, they could just cast. Ugh, of course it's Boros Charm. Okay, I can still hit a Helix off Ragavan. I have 1 Cling to Death I can draw. Yeah, I want them to sack their Canyon right now, so I could maybe Inquisition. 2 or 3 drop. Well, I guess they could cast all their 3 drops or suspend. Okay, discard. 2 lands. So we can maybe kill them next turn. Obviously happy to deny them a lethal card from the top. Not as good as a Helix, though. Okay, so Obosh pre-combat gives me 6 damage, and if I hit any burn spell off Ragavan, I win. Obviously, I need them to brick on a burn spell here. So I could draw my own Lightning Bolt or Cling to Dust. Or Kolaghan's Command. This is exactly 10. With exactly enough mana to cast it. No, I have doublers, Adam. So I guess I can't. I couldn't. Any burn spell does it because Helix gains me 3 life. Boros Charm deals 4. Any 1 or 3 mana burn spell is gonna deal. Main deck Deflecting Palm. So annoying. No, I can't cast the Kolaghan's command. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Let's play around. I guess I should. This one's 3 damage, right? I should have played around. This is me playing around second Deflecting Palm. But I should have attacked with Reflection. Oh, I guess discard pre-combat also plays around it. Yeah. I was thinking I could kill my own creature. Yeah, that was better to play around it. I can't believe we just won that game. That was ridiculous. Deflecting Palm in IRL tournament, how do I react? I don't react at all, ever, but I'm an emotionless killing machine. But Palm is a really common sideboard card. It's just odd to see it in the main deck. It's not ridiculous to play 1 in the main deck though. I don't despise the decision. I don't really. I was thinking about my burn sideboard plan. I know I don't have really anything. I think it's okay. I think you can just win. Thoughtseize is pretty bad. Path of Peril is pretty bad. Spellbomb's bad. Blood Moon's bad. Blood Moon's okay. I think maybe I'll play 4th Blood Moon over like 4th Thoughtseize. Both cards are horrible, but at the very least, like you do want to draw the first Blood Moon. You don't really want to draw the second Thoughtseize. I don't know. You don't even really want to draw the first Thoughtseize. Yeah, Kolaghan's command has been nuts all day. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Kolaghan's command's been nuts all day. Game 1 Palm, don't I call a judge? I would maybe call a judge if I was playing like Hammer Time. If I was playing this deck, I wouldn't call a judge. Like I would have no reason to think that they pre-boarded against me because Palm isn't like a particularly good effect against me. Against a deck with discard spells. But if I was playing Hammer and my opponent, if my opponent palmed me, I'd be like, hey, I'm not like accusing you of cheating, but I do just want to double check that your main deck can palm, and I call a judge. No, Path of Peril is so bad in this matchup. On the draw, especially, you can maybe play it on the play, but you're just dead by the time you're casting that card. Oh wait, never mind. They're gonna bring in Sanctifier. I take it all back. Damn it, too late. Sorry, I forgot about Sanctifier. No, you want all of them. Did a little 180 there. Nihil overseas. Well, Thoughtseize at least like can trade profitably with Boros Charm and Sanctifier and Deflecting Palm. It's less accusing you of cheating and more mistake room with Cybercar last match. Well, no, it is cheating. Like, if they cast a Deflecting Palm without calling a judge on themselves, like, if you draw a sideboard card and cast a game 1 knowing it's a sideboard card, that is cheating. It's not, like, that's why it would be in the deck, right? But, like, as soon as it's on the stack, we've shifted from innocent mistake to, cheat. How good is Blood Moon against a deck like this? The first copy is like something you want, where it turns off all of their white spells and it turns off all of their Horizon lands, which is like a good dynamic for you. Yeah, I need to go through, or I don't know if a mod can go through the banned words. Like barbecue has been on the banned word list for like years as a meme, and like I didn't want it to go in the first place. I don't know. So I don't know if we could like get like almost all of this off. Yeah, I think the word ban is on the list too, which is tough. Or it's also really nice though. Yeah, the BBQ is banned, but barbecue isn't. It was banned like as a meme like 2 or 3 years ago. Okay, so discard Thoughtseize. Bolt? I guess I should have left red up and discard the push. I'll just discard the push. I'll just commit to the mistake. Commit to the mistake. Eidolon, 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 Eidolon. Bright Searing Blaze. It was not a beam, I was still long for an hour and a half, and I was killing each other over it. No, people, okay, that's how you always say it was. I thought I was having like a fun conversation about it. The way I remember it is I was having like a lot of good banter about the barbecue thing, and it was like a fun conversation, and then I felt like, I don't know, maybe, this is always how I look at it in the past, but in reality I was like screaming at everybody. I look at it fondly, but in the moment, it did need to go. Was a job over barbecuing? Just, I don't know, people were just arguing about what barbecue is best, and like, I really have no strong opinion on the issue. I think that in our current society, because of how connected we are with, you know, the internet and everything, like, I think that region-locked food is becoming less and less disparate. I think that there's good and bad barbecue everywhere. Well, maybe I say that because I live in Texas and there's like a lot of barbecue everywhere. But I also don't even like barbecue that much. It's like very occasional for me. Okay, so this is my third 4-1 in a row with this deck. I have a backup deck, but I want to play another league because I might like pivot to this for the Hunter Burden. I could play this.